with more energy, more strength, more health?
Night class per week and finish in just 2 years. It's quick, accredited, and affordable for the lifestyle you want and the degree you need. Find out more at oc.edu/leadtheteam. That's oc.edu/leadtheteam. Graduate Engineering at Oklahoma Christian University. Lead the team.
What drives us at Chesapeake Energy? Fostering a culture of never settling, always aspiring to something more, something better. Striving for continuous improvement in everything we do. Finding the energy America needs. Producing it smarter and more efficiently. Being responsible stewards of our communities and our environment. This is our commitment to leading a responsible energy future. Chesapeake Energy.
What could you do with more energy, more strength, more health? Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC.
KXXY FM, Oklahoma City, home of Bill and Sean in the morning. Studios driven by Reynolds Ford with 3 locations: Norman, Oklahoma City, and Edmond.
Filling in for Jack Damrell, I'm Jim Byers here at Pribble Stadium. It's OKC Energy FC Soccer, presented tonight by Kickapoo Casino. We wrap up the First Fidelity Bank pregame show. Mo Borum is alongside as Energy FC, dressed in their dark blue, the two-tone blue with a green accents around the cuffs and the collar, will take on LA Galaxy 2, dressed in all white tonight. Bradford Jameson IV and Chandler Hoffman, 2 of the top offensive players in the entire USL Pro League, are not here. They are up with the main LA Galaxy club, which is taking on Sporting Kansas City tonight. Mo, a different look to the Energy FC lineup tonight, as we talked about in the pregame. And Michael Thomas, though, has been very hot. He scored goals in consecutive games. He has 3 goals in the last 5 matches. Thomas is in the lineup. Is it going to be important for him as a veteran presence and a captain presence to play his usual steady game there and kind of serve as a bridge with some guys that have experience, the Murads, the Hedricks, those guys, but they haven't played lately?
Yeah, I think Michael Thomas is a great leader, and that's why I'm sure at any time, Jimmy will play him. Not only is he a great leader, he's a good player, and he shows by example. And I think he'll be out there cheering all the players up. I think that we're a little bit surprised with some of the lineup, but in saying that each and every lad deserves his chance, and I'm sure they'll do very, very well. We've always said we've got a strong squad. Now we're going to see whether how strong we have got a strong squad.
LA Galaxy 2 will defend the north goal to our left. Cody Lorendi, one of the most active goalkeepers in the league, 6'3" tall. He's 25 years of age. He's played all the way through 15 starts this year. Will be in goal to our left. He's 8-4-3 on the year. 3 of those performances have been shutouts. He has allowed 19 goals in that time for a 1.27 goals against average. Samir Bader will be making his 5th appearance, his 4th start. He has 1 shutout, and he has allowed just a couple of goals in his time, as Bader was in net for the 1-1 draw in the most recent match for Energy FC just 2 nights ago here in the rain against Arizona United. Galaxy 2 has not played since the 4th of July. They've gone 14 full days without a game. We'll see if they have any sort of rust as we get set for the opening kickoff here. Energy will attack right to left. Samir Bader in his bright red colors in goal as we get set for the opening kickoff. Referee for tonight's game is Kyle Phillips. The assistants are Larry Morgan and Matt Trotter. The 4th official is Lance Stewart. And we're getting set here for the opening kickoff. Energy FC has it. Cyprian Hedrick drives it high right to left up toward the top of the arc, and it's headed on out of there by Daniel Steris, and then it's poked up into the air by Bradley Diallo, and then he pops it into the center circle where it's headed by Tariq Murad and driven back to Galaxy 2. Rafael Garcia drives it down the field for Jack McBean. He's a fine young prospect. It'll drift back to the goalkeeper, though, with no score here in this Kickapoo Casino first half. Samir Bader will urge his troops to move up toward the midfield. And now he'll poke it out of the penalty area and drive it way across midfield with that strong leg. Up in the air, a battle there. Paul Wyatt went after it with Joe Franco, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, the lads look as though they are playing a 4-4-2 across, and with Paul Wyatt playing wide one side and David Lichty playing on the other side of the midfield.
Galaxy 2 picks the ball up in the midfield, and it's driven down the right field, right side for Stoikov. Knocked out of bounds, however, by Pibo Due. So it'll be a throw-in right in front of the Energy FC bench down below us as we're above the western sideline here. Franco sends it down the near touchline and out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in now for Energy FC.
The advantage of not playing is that they're fresh legs, but as you say, a little bit of rust sets in. We didn't like the fact that when we didn't play for 2 weeks, it's much better if to keep the run going. But at the moment they're feeling each other out.
Stephen Perry headed it upfield. It is given by Diallo back toward the goalkeeper. Lorendi had to do some fancy footwork there to negotiate it around an Energy attacker down in there. A pretty good attempt there for Javier Castro. Boy, you don't often see a goalkeeper have to do that type of move with an attacker that close, do you, Mo?
No, you don't. That's he took a big chance there, but he knew what he was doing. I mean, Castro sort of slightly turned, which was an important thing for the lad. He came inside and got away with it, but I just hope he tries it again.
Scoreless in the third minute here at Pribble Stadium. It's thrown in by Galaxy 2, played by Tarek Murad, deep in the near corner. He turns, sends it up the touchline, and it will go out of bounds where Franco will come down and throw it in. And this throw-in will be about 18 yards or inside of that from the end line here. And getting set for a throw-in here in this first half. August 2nd, the next Energy FC home game. There's the throw in. It gets past the first barrage, comes back to the corner of the 18-yard box. There's a shot near the net, knocked away by Bader on the shot from well out by Joe Franco. Now popped high up in the air by Garcia, headed out of there by Hedrick. Thomas tried to clear it to the far side, and Jimmy Nielsen calling for a handball, none coming. And now it's played multiple times up in the air into the center circle, and Garcia gathers it down over to Mendiola. He's one of the league leaders in assists. Sorry, that's not Mendiola. That is Stoikov. Now it comes back to Garcia. Near side, near the benches. Over to Franco. Plays it toward the corner of the box. Chipped out of there by Due. Played by Garcia toward the middle. Now it'll be played to McBean. Back over to Rugg. Charlie Rugg out of Boston. Far corner of the box. He's watched, and now it's poked back out of bounds. He was well marked over there by Max Gunderson.
Yeah, Max done very well there. He didn't dive in. And you've got to be really careful, because if you do dive in and you get a touch on him, it's a penalty. Yeah. So he done very well. He just held him up, and made him make the decision. And the guy overkicked it, and it ran out for a goal kick, which was very fortunate.
LA Galaxy 2, the fourth place club in the league. 9-5-4 is their record, 31 points. And Samir Bader will put that long foot into it here. He drives it after the goal kick way with no score up across midfield. And the ball was won in the air by a Bradley Diallo header. Gathered back in, and the play is stopped and then started back up again as Garcia will give it over to Logan Emery, one of the defenders way out by the far touchline at the midfield stripe. Back to Garcia. He's a Southern California lad. Back over here for Franco, off of him and out of bounds.
Yeah, really ambitious ball there. It was like 7 foot high, and the guy to try and get it. It was a very difficult ball for him to take.
Due was able to take it away from Stoikov. Now players tumble on the near side. Back to Garcia. He handles the ball a lot there. Over it goes to Emery down the left side. He's out of Boise, Idaho. He lifts it into the box. That's going to come harmlessly to the near side. And hard chasing after it. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, well overhit there, Jim. He hit it some 70 yards, and it was still going off. Like, I imagine the field's still a little bit wet, because the ball seems to be coming up pretty quick. Is it?
Could be. It's so much rain, and even yesterday was pretty damp. No score, 5 minutes in here as the ball is headed out of bounds by Galaxy 2. Or maybe not.
I'm being well informed that the ground is quite hard.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, we've had sun all day today, so it certainly has, if that's a credit to the field then, because if it's dried out since Thursday, they've done very well.
Yeah. Ball goes up toward midfield, and now it'll be sent by Thomas down just beyond the top of the arc. It goes to Castro, back to Perry, just outside the arc, middle of the field. Now he sends it down the right side. Gunderson will chip it in toward the box. It's knocked over to the near side. Wyatt centers it, broken up, and lifted up out of there by Galaxy 2 in a 0-0 first half. Thomas plays it to Due, and he will play it back for Tarek Murad, who played a lot earlier in the season, has not played a whole lot of late, as some key players sit, some of them for rest, some in the case of Gareth Evans won't play at all today, as Bader sends a line drive upfield, and it'll be headed out of there by Daniel Steris, sent back the other way. Steris again with a header, knocked down by Mendiola, whose name we have not called a whole lot so far. Now here's a pass almost stolen by Stephen Perry, who almost had a nice rally right to left. Back to the midfield stripe. Stoikov to McBean. Off of his foot. Energy regather. And Gunderson goes back over to get it. His pass will be chipped back, an ineffective pass there, though, by Nate Schiffman. And now a trip over on the far side, as taking a big tumble over on the far side. Lichty committed a foul, and writhing in agony over there is Garcia. Rafael Garcia, one of these homegrown guys, Mo. They've got a number of players in the Galaxy system that pretty promising young players, and Rafael Garcia out of Cal State Northridge is one of them. They haven't put the trainer on the field just yet, but he's spending quite a bit of time down there holding his left ankle.
I think he's just got a whack on his ankle, and they don't want to bring him on because if they do, then he's got to come off, and he's gonna be okay. I mean, it was an innocuous kick. It wasn't anything vicious. David came in a little bit late and just caught him. And that happens in soccer.
No score here. Mercy can help you do more of what you love. Go to mercy.net/performance to learn how. Mercy, proud sponsor of Energy FC. So there'll be a free kick way out about 40 yards or so from the Energy FC goal. 7.5 in, no score. So in the 8th minute here. And attending the ball over on the far side, Rafael Garcia, and he will give it over to Andre Oras, and then they mishandle it, and it's taken away by Castro. Left-footed pass down near the near touchline. That's played on a bounce by Joe Franco. Lichty will quickly throw it in. Not a very effective touch there by Franco, it didn't look like, Mo.
No, David was chasing for it, and the guy came across. He should have had a better touch on that, but it's done us a favour. We got a free kick, throw in.
So they pop it up in the air, and again, Energy FC will have another throw in here. Due will do the honors this time, and it comes in and knocked down there by Wyatt, and he tried to maneuver around Franco, and foul called against Energy FC. And Wyatt not thrilled with the call, but off we go. Good crowd on hand, beautiful conditions here.
Yeah, and a lovely day.
Temperature was in the low 80s just before kickoff. It's driven toward midfield. Headed down by Schiffman. Now he goes back to try to recover it out there at center. Back to Galaxy 2 with no score. Right in front of the near side, Stoikov. Gave it back. Oras will send it toward McBean. Murad grabbed him first and then took the feet out from under him, so a foul on Tarek Murad.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a foul, actually. I thought he got the ball, and the guy's momentum took him over. But he's obviously given a free kick. We've got to be very careful with this and get a wall lined up so that we're 10 yards away and they can't get a free shot. Samir's lining the wall up, so.
And the Energy FC wall is right at the edge of the 18-yard box.
They've got to go back a little bit. They're not 10 yards yet.
Middle third of the field, no score. Garcia set to put the left foot into it here. And the player over on the other side as well, is they're both lined up. And here we go. They both approach, but it's driven by Oras, knocked up by Wyatt, up and over and out of bounds. And will we see our first corner kick of the evening?
That's what I call a good wall, because it worked. You know, the guys hit the ball at it, and the walls defended the ball, even though it's gone over for a corner. I do like to see that. I hate it when the wall completely breaks and it goes straight through the wall.
So corner kick, far side. That part is still in the sun. There is some shadow on the near side of the field. We're scoreless in the 11th minute. Oras with the right foot swings it in, and good play by Wyatt there. He was right up alongside Bradley Diallo who was in an attacking posture. It came out of bounds, throw in for Galaxy.
Did very well there, Paul Wyatt. He got a good header in there where it was desperate that he did get a good header.
Emery with the throw and a bouncer. Garcia lifts it up in the air. One out of the air by Hedrick. Comes back, however, and it'll be played by Oris. Nowhere to go with it, so he gives it to way back in the center circle to Franco, and he'll drive a ball up to Mendiola. Knocked away by Thomas while on the ground. Good play. Still being contested for. Energy give it away. Oris takes it. He's in a clump of players there, and now challenged by David Lichty, and then he drives it down into the penalty area where Douay will turn and kind of swipe one out toward out of danger. Will be played by Schiffman back to Hedrick. His ball toward the midfield broken up, and now down the far side, Logan Emery. Way over at the far touchline. Gave it over to Mendiola. Left-footed, drives it into the penalty area. And it scoots by everybody as there was a big collision in front, and play is halted. As Charlie Rugg and Cyprian Hedrick with a big collision there right at the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, I think they got a clash of heads. He's not called anyone on yet, so I'm thinking he's going to get up.
Kickapoo Casino, our presenting sponsor tonight. Eat, drink, and play at Kickapoo Casino. Hera and Shawnee, 2 locations just 30 minutes away from OKC. Kickapoo Casino, get rewarded. So everybody gets back up. 5 subs allowed in USL Pro. Here's the throw-in. Franco to Stoikov, edge of the box. He's watched down there by Stephen Perry. Now it's swiped nicely by Castro right at the end line. Drove it up toward midfield. Galaxy 2 maintains it. Logan Emery. His pass broken up by Schiffman. Good quick deflection. Emery then pops it high in the air. Edge of the top of the arc. Now it'll trickle this way. Headed by Wyatt. Headed back by Thomas. And driven left-footed by Peebo. Peebo Douay out towards center, out toward the midfield.
Paul Wyatt's done very, very well with balls in the air. He's won every time he's jumped, he's won the ball. Very good. But he's playing a little bit too deep. If we're going to get a player forward, we've got to get him forward and running at people, because he does like to run at people.
Here's a long shot by Oris. That'll go way wide and into the standing and lawn chair area behind the south goal to our right. So it'll be a goal kick for Samir Bader.
That almost went into the Roman Catholic school at the back.
That was a long, that was way out of there.
That was way high.
That's Mo Borum. I'm Jim Byers filling in for Jack Damrell. Thanks for joining us here. Energy FC Soccer as they wrap up this 6-game stretch at home. Bader drives it with no score, high and across midfield. And a good header right out of the air there by Galaxy 2's Bradley Diallo. And now it'll become near the near touchline. It stayed in bounds. Douay will keep it in bounds again.
They did very well there.
Wyatt gave it to Thomas. He tried to give it to Castro. It was broken up. Driven by Diallo toward midfield. It pops way up in the air. Thomas will go for it. At a height disadvantage with Stoikov. And now it'll come back over here to Garcia. Short pass, Stoikov. Now Mendiola heads it back to Oris. Mo, is it just me, or does Galaxy 2 move that ball around pretty well?
They move it very quickly, but at the moment it's been, the final ball's been pretty scrappy from both sides. I mean, it's in the middle of the park, and there's nothing sort of being definite on either side. So, they do move it quickly, and they do move it smartly, but then, that's our game as well. So, I just think that they're doing a little bit better than we are at the moment.
We're scoreless here, 0-0, first half. And it'll come to the possession of Mendiola down the far side. He will send it to McBean. Back to Mendiola on a little give and go. Top of the box, shoots and just missed the net. To Bader's left, the right of the net as we look at him.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Their approach work's been great, but the final ball and the final shot from both ends is nothing dangerous on either side yet.
So far you might say a lot of flash and dash and not a whole lot of results.
Correct, yes. I think that would be a perfect explanation for it, yeah. What was it? Splash and dash?
Flash and dash.
Flash and dash.
Yeah. So Bader again drives it all the way upfield, across midfield. Boy, Lichty might have taken a whack in the noggin when he went up to try to play it out of the air. Now we got a stoppage and a foul called against Energy. And Lichty is a little slow getting up.
Yeah, referee's supposed to stop the game when there's a head injury, so I'm assuming he thinks it was head injury. He's holding his head.
So he works his way back up. David Lichty getting a chance to start today. He's just 19 years of age. And play is underway once again in the center circle with no score. Goes over to Diallo on the far touchline. Sent it toward McBean. Off of him. Wyatt will take it. Here comes Energy FC right to left. Wyatt being pursued by Stoikov. Wyatt comes down, eventually goes down. Stoikov ended up getting the ball, but a foul called against him.
See, that's what I like to see Paul Wyatt doing. He picks the ball up on the halfway line. He don't want to start his runs too far back into the defending half, but he took it on the halfway line, started running at him, went past him a yard, 2 yards, and the guy had to push him in the back to stop him. So I'd like to see more of that, Paul Wyatt running at them.
No score here in the first half. Free kick for Thomas. About 15 yards from the near touchline in front of Galaxy 2's bench. They got off to a great start this year. Cooled off a bit. Thomas lobs it in toward the arc. It's headed just wide of the goal. Boy, a big chance right down in deep there. Paul Wyatt with a big chance. Boy, it was a nice ball.
That was a great ball in by Michael Thomas, and we were a little bit unlucky there. And they were a little bit lucky to get it given away for a corner.
So the first Energy FC corner kick will come from the far corner arc. So Thomas will go over. Corner kick, right-footed. They have Perry set up in front. They have Hedrick in deep. And here it is. It's headed out of there by Garcia. Gathered in by Lichty well outside the box. They'll reset. Gunderson watched by Mendiola. Drives it down into the box. Way out comes the goalkeeper, Lorendi. Knocks it way up in the air. Now McBean and Thomas contest in the air. And finally Garcia drives it high up in the air. And who's it going to go to? Lichty. And he's able to turn and drive it into the box. But played by the goalkeeper, Lorendi.
Yeah, Stephen Perry couldn't make a move there because although he was in an offside position, if he'd have moved towards the ball, it would have been offside. So he just let it run past him. Bit unlucky there, really, because I think David Lichty was aiming for him.
Lorendi left-footed, drives it across midfield. Stoikov chests it down.
Good tackle.
Contested there. Schiffman took it away. Nice play. And with no score here in the 18th minute, Energy FC with it. Schiffman well out in front of his own penalty area. Back over to Hedrick out of Cameroon. Watched by McBean. And he drives it up across the midfield stripe. Lichty plays it for Castro. Shoulder to shoulder with Diallo. Down they go. And we got a stoppage and a foul against Galaxy 2.
Well, I didn't see that as a foul. They were both running for the ball, and the Galaxy lad got in front of him, but he's given pushing off the ball. Made no sense to me there. I didn't think. Thought that was a bit harsh. Just want to rub salt in the wound now and score from this free kick.
Good distance from the goal area, but Thomas will set it up. Right-footed. Drives a line drive in. It comes over just beyond Tarek Murad, who is battling with Charlie Rugg, and it goes into touch on the near side. And I take it went off L.A.?
I think it's a throw-on from that side, yeah. I'm not over-impressed with the two centre-backs. I mean, when they get balls at them coming across the field, they don't look too safe.
0-0 to score here in the first half. Michael Thomas, the captain, who had the tying goal late on a penalty kick on Thursday with the throw in. Throws it well into the box just outside the 6-yard box, headed just wide of the goal and gathered in by Lorendi.
Yeah, that was Cypriot got up, and Michael Thomas's throw-in was almost as good as a corner. It went into the 6-yard box from the touchline, which was very good.
Cyprian Hedrick listed at 6 feet. Looked taller than that the way he went up to try to get that one. It's driven across midfield. 20th minute, no score. Franco gives it over here. USL Pro Soccer from Pribble Stadium. Over to Andre Oris. Drives it broken up by Due. Lifted up in the air. We welcome our fans watching in perhaps around the world on YouTube as these games streamed live. Now it's driven by Galaxy 2 way across. Emery tried to save it on the far touchline, but it goes into near the seats.
Yeah, an enormously ambitious ball there. He's hit it from one touchline to the other at about 9,000 feet. So, yeah, the guy back there must have been a kangaroo to get that one.
Garcia and Gunderson contested for it far side. It went off of Rafael Garcia. So a throw in for Gunderson, and he will backpedal and now throw it in. Lichty headed it toward Castro, taken away by Diallo. Midfield stripe. Thanks for joining us tonight. Carter Baum with the Halftime report presented by Kickapoo Casino coming up. Still more than 20 minutes left as the ball goes out of bounds near side.
Yeah, Paul Wyatt's looking quite dangerous when he gets on the ball. They're certainly picking him up and giving him a lot of attention.
The Energy FC players not available tonight: Christian Duke, Philip Lund, Gareth Evans, Pete Karinji, and Jimmy Madronda, the newcomer. None of them are available. 0-0 to score. Thomas in for a Wyatt just outside the penalty area. Tried to center it, broken up by Orris. He drove one off of Thomas's body and over the end line.
Yeah, great turn by Paul Wyatt again. He went past the defender, just the cross was very poor on the ground, and it was picked up by the central defender.
So a goal kick here for Cody Lorendi. He has one of the wins for Galaxy 2 against Energy FC this year. They had a different goalkeeper, one who's now up with the big club. Played the first game. Rowe was his name. Now it's driven across midfield, near side. Headed by Wyatt up in the air, and then in turn knocked out of bounds. They were trying to get it to Castro there, and Franco knocked it out of bounds. Throw in by Due, Energy FC with it. Stoikov able to take it away from Wyatt. Close quarters on the near side. Won by Murad. Nice play. He got it over to Lichty. His pass will elude everyone, and it'll go out of bounds.
That was a bit unlucky, and Tarrant done really well there. Won the ball, won a tackle, stumbled to the ground, got back up. Looks like they're going to make a change with Galaxy already. So someone must have got a knock somewhere.
As let's see who is donning. Kyle Venter is putting on his game jersey as it's thrown in by Galaxy 2. No score here. Aggressive play by Lichty, trying to win the ball in the air. Now it'll come down McBean over to Mendiola, and he couldn't control it. Hedrick will play it. Chested down by McBean. He got run into by Wyatt, and it goes over the near touchline. Throw in for Energy FC. So Venter is on his way in, and we'll see who they take off. Bradley Diallo is coming out, so our first substitution of the game.
He must have had some sort of knock but like I said to you, I wasn't over happy with the two central defenders, and he's taking one of them off.
23rd minute, 0-0 score. Walker Companies, located in the heart of downtown Oklahoma City, is a proud partner of Energy FC. Head to 121 Northwest 6th Street or walkercompanies.com for all your large format digital printing and promotional marketing needs.
Who went on?
Bradley Diallo came off, and Kyle Venter came on for Galaxy 2. So Energy with a throw in near side. Thomas, as players weave around to get into position. Thomas exasperated momentarily. Now he throws it to a semi-open area. Lichty had a touch on it, and a turnaround shot attempt there by Stephen Perry was deflected out of bounds by Galaxy 2. So here comes a corner kick.
Yep, and like I was saying, I thought that the two centre-backs weren't doing very well. Obviously, the coach has agreed. He's stuck on Carl Ferdinand to take his place at centre-back.
So Thomas will, the corner kick from the near side. He drives it into the 6-yard box, gloved by, or caught, you might say, by Lorendi. Nice play there. 25-year-old goalkeeper will let everybody peel back here in the 25th minute, and will punt it upfield. Left-footed, up and across it comes. Knocked up in the air by Schiffman. Now a good chase there. Steris and Castro right behind for Energy FC. Steris able to deflect it ahead, and a nice sitting down play across midfield. It'll ultimately go out of bounds there as it was played up by Andre Orris. So a throw in for Energy FC. Due's throw in headed down by Orris, retaken by Galaxy 2. Played by Stoikov over to an open side. Gathered in by Gunderson. Mendiola pursuing. Long run for Gunderson, far touchline now. Gave it out high to Schiffman. His pass ricocheted off Garcia, and here comes Rugg. Rugg, a bit of a one-on-two. Bumped by Hedrick, perhaps fouled. Straight in the middle of the field, about 15 yards outside the top of the arc.
Tarek was lucky there that he never got a yellow card, because he was going past him, and he's caught him on the shoulder, but it was a dreadful ball by Nate across the park, and when you do that and you've only got two defenders at the back, it's sod's law, they're going to score. So he did very well, really. He took one for the team. He could have got a yellow card there, but he hasn't. And the referee seems to be quite lenient with, which is good. You don't want yellow cards at this stage of the game.
0-0 to score here. Set to resume play straight in the middle of the field. Energy FC with a four-man lineup, four-man wall just outside the top of the arc. Oris approaching it, Garcia right behind. Oris right-footed, lifts it up over the arc, well up over the goal, and out of play.
Yeah, their free kicks have been very poor. They're 5, 6 foot above the goal. So very difficult skill to master when you've got to get it over the wall and back down.
But yeah.
You know, you only get the quality players that can do that. And unfortunately, we all think we're a quality player until you lash it over the top.
So at the edge of the 6-yard box, Bader with a goal kick here. Everybody grouped within 15, 20 yards of the midfield stripe in the 27th minute. No score. Bader will drive it toward the front barrage of players, headed by Galaxy 2, headed back by Due for the Energy. Now Oris takes it back. Over for Mendiola. He weaves through the center circle. McBean on his left. Mendiola comes toward the 18-yard box. Now taken away by Thomas and driven to the center circle. Gathered back in by Logan Emery, and he will play it to McBean. McBean contested by Gunderson on the far side. Now it'll be driven by Emery down the far touchline. Mendiola goes for it. He and Ada Jaziri among a big multiple-way tie for third in assists in the league. Jaziri is not starting tonight, but is available. Ball went out of bounds. Throw-in coming up for Galaxy 2. They haven't played since July 4th. Here's the throw-in. Goes into the box, headed out of there by Michael Thomas. And now it'll be gathered in by Castro. Over for Lichty to Perry. Perry has Wyatt on his left, and he gets the ball to Wyatt. Wyatt approaches the corner of the box now. Wyatt, 18 yards out, was pressured there, and then he was able to knock down on the near side. Well, foul coming up here against Wyatt as he knocked down Oris.
Yeah, should have maybe put the cross in first time, but tried to come inside and then got the ball run away from him, and then he had to go again. And the second defender came across him and he just took him down. So
Galaxy 2 brings the ball toward midfield. They have been a much better club at the StubHub Center this year than they have on the road. They're 7-2-1 in LA. They're 2-3-3 away from Carson, California. 0-0 to score. It's played out of bounds by the white-clad Galaxy 2, so a throw-in for the Energy. Pipo Due will do the honors. Throws it down the touchline. Stoikov had it initially with a header. Now it's being up for grabs. Stoikov gathers it back in. Dragan Stoikov bumped into Wyatt, went down, ball out of bounds. Did they call a foul against Energy FC there?
Yeah, Paul Wyatt came in at the back of him. Thought it was a bit harsh, but, you know, I mean, he was going for the ball.
Jimmy Nielsen goes palms up on the sidelines, wondering the same thing. So Rafael Garcia will start play again with a free kick. So Galaxy 2 with it out near midfield. A newcomer into the lineup, Venter. Back over to Oris. 0-0 to score, back for Venter. He has to race after it. He appears to have quite a bit of size on his frame.
Yeah, he looks a big lad. And I think that's what he's done. He's, you know, they were looking very, very dodgy on the...
Now here's a chance as it's lifted way up in the air and caught by Lorendi, who had gotten way out of position. There had been a long ball up field right to left by Energy FC, and then Energy FC threw it toward the net from way out. And
that was Michael Thomas from the halfway line. Yeah. That was great vision. I mean, he is a quality lad, to be fair. I know my son jokes about him. You know, Michael Thomas takes throw-ons, Michael Thomas does this, but he is a quality player. And that was quality there. The keeper did very well to get back.
Because after Thomas's shot, Lorendi's momentum was starting to take him toward the goal line, so he made sure to keep the ball out.
He was 20 yards outside of the goal.
Yeah.
So he had to run back, and he's running back at speed. He was lucky he didn't fall in the goal with the ball, which would have been very helpful. But
play underway once again, tipped towards center by Schiffman, played by Venter. Over toward the far side to Emery here. 0-0 to score. back to Oris. It was 0-0 toward the end of halftime on Tuesday before Arizona United scored in stoppage time as Due heads it out of bounds. Throw in for Galaxy 2. They play a full league schedule. It's played in here, poked away by Wyatt at the edge of the box away from Stoikov. Now it's driven all the way across midfield down toward the goalkeeper, Lorendi. Every side in USL Pro plays a couple of MLS reserve teams, but Galaxy 2 is not one of those. They play a full schedule in the league, as now it's bounding around outside the box of the Energy and gathered in by Charlie Rugg. Back over for Oris. He and Garcia play catch. Now back across the midfield stripe to Venter. Now Garcia with it. Over to Oris. Back this way, and Steris will bring it across the midfield line. And then they tried to give it to McBean. Morad stepped in front of him to break that up, and then Due cleared it toward midfield. That'll be headed out of the air by Gunderson, but taken away by Mendiola, and a long drive goes over the end line in the near corner.
And once again, you know, they're getting shots in, and they're getting more of the game than we are, but their shots are 15 yards above, or 15 foot above the goal.
So another goal kick coming up here in the 32nd minute for Energy FC and Samir Bader. As Carter mentioned earlier, the parent clubs, if you will, of these two teams, at least Sporting Kansas City sends players here to the Energy. They're playing the LA Galaxy main club today. The ball comes down, played after the goal kick by the Galaxy. Mendiola to Rugg. Rugg immediately challenged by Murad, and then Hedrick clears it toward midfield. Headed down by Emery. Gathered back in over on the far side by Gunderson, and it'll be taken away by Venter, and he sends it high in the air and over on the far touchline and out of play.
And they're certainly not too concerned about when in doubt. They play it out, they play it safe. They don't try and do anything special at the back. That's offside.
Lichty to Castro, trying to give it to Perry with a nifty little back header, but offside against the Energy.
Yeah, very much so. He was 2 yards offside, unfortunately.
Well, what do you think of the action so far as the better chances? Energy FC had a good chance earlier on a header. They had the good chance on the long shot by Michael Thomas. There hasn't been a whole lot going on as far as right deep, you know.
Well, in all fairness, I think that Galaxy have had probably a little bit better of the game. But as far as chances are concerned, I would say that the best chance of the game it was Michael Thomas's, which was exceptional. But that, you know, it would appear that that Galaxy's shooting is really not being good, and let's just hope that they keep it up. This is what I don't like with Tarek. He's a super player, but sometimes he tends to overdo it right in the middle of the box, and that always makes me a bit concerned. Like there, I'd like to see it away.
So the first time Murad handled the ball a bit, and then wound up giving it away. The second time he played it much more quickly forward.
Yeah, that's right. And he's a better player for it when he plays it first time, but he always wants to me, sometimes carry it out of the box, and that's one of the places you don't want to be running with the ball.
Galaxy 2 tries to mount something down the far touchline. Gunderson able to take it away from Oris. Play continues right at the far touchline. Back to Gunderson. No score here. Now a Schiffman will drive it laterally. Due with it at the midfield line. Trying to give it to Wyatt. Taken away, though, and driven up in the air by Franco. And now it'll be played over toward and out of bounds on the near side. Garcia unhappy with himself with that play. Throw in Energy. Stoikov locked up with Wyatt. And now it'll be advanced by Franco ahead to Rugg, now to McBean. Over it goes to Mendiola right in the middle of the field. Lichty works on him. Mendiola pretty nifty. Turns in the middle of the field now. Pass broken up by Murad. And Murad will give it back to Due, and they'll reset. Now Wyatt on the left side. That's the near side. He'll roll it up ahead here to Perry. Perry gets across the midfield line, knocked down by Rugg, and a foul called there. Perry is complaining. Is he saying it should have been a yellow card or what?
Well, he's done it twice to him, and what he's saying is, look, you know, how many times are you going to do it before you do talk to him or give him a card? He's been very lenient actually on both sides. On both sides, there's been a couple where we've been late, and he hasn't given. He's talked to the player, I think that once you've talked to a player, though, and you've said to him, hey, that's your lot, I think that then he's got to show a card. But I don't like to see cards because the player tends to then not play to his full capabilities.
Thomas sends one high off the free kick toward the edge of the box, headed up by Venter. 8 fouls in this game for Energy FC, 4 so far for Galaxy 2, and it bounces back in, and the goalkeeper Lorendi will gather it in here in the 36th minute with a 0-0 score. Our Energy FC Weekly, Mo and I will be there, filling in for Jack Damerel. We'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings this week on Northwest Expressway Monday night, 7 until 8 p.m. It's a special night because the team will be traveling on Tuesday. Monday night, 7 until 8, the program airs here on KXY, and it'll be at the Buffalo Wild Wings on Northwest Expressway. Galaxy 2 plays it down the near side here, and it'll be knocked by Hedrick away from Charlie Rugg and out of bounds. Rugg with 14 points, tied for 9th in the league in points. 6 of those have been goals. These guys share the league lead with Richmond for the most goals scored as a team. Here's a throw in. It comes into the box, taken by the Energy's Hedrick, and lifted out of bounds. Was that Abraham Beyond trying to catch the ball?
Well, that was Abe showing he's not a goalkeeper.
That's why they don't play the game with their hands, I guess. So throw in for Galaxy 2 on the near side. And Franco trying to direct somebody visually. Throws it in. A bit of a limbo move by Stoikov. Couldn't control it. Schiffman will give it over laterally. Long run for Gunderson to keep it in. He does at the far touchline. Watched by Mendiola and Rugg. Gives it back to the corner of the box to Cyprian Hedrick. His pass was deflected. Played out of the air by Schiffman and then played ineffectively there by Lichty. Taken by Mendiola, but Energy FC retake.
Tarek done tremendous there. I don't know why he blew up there.
We have a whistle on the play.
I don't know what that was for.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, Tarek played a great ball there, and I think we were through, but...
well, if you don't know what the whistle's for, I'm certainly not going to.
That's baffled me. I can only imagine that the guy went across Tarek after he played it. But no one complained or said anything. So. But it looks from the position where he's taken the free kick, it was where Tarek played the ball out wide, and I thought a great ball. But he obviously got a kick while doing it.
Bader will drive the free kick straight up the field, right toward the arc, headed up in the air. It's still loose, and Lorendi comes out with Stephen Perry right there, and a nice grab there by Lorendi, who gets a tap from Perry. The defender on that play was Daniel Steris, but Perry was right in the middle of things. So Lorendi will be able to punt this one out. 0-0 our score. Drives it across midfield. And a header by Hedrick will come instead to Oris, and his pass too far on the near side for Stoikov.
Both keepers have got, great kicks. They're hitting halfway into the attacking half, which is a big advantage to the attacking side. But both keepers are doing it. I mean, both keepers strike the ball very, very cleanly.
Energy handling it just outside their box. Douay turns, left foots one toward midfield. Franco heads it down. Come over on the near side here to Stoikov, to Garcia. His cross to Rugg, top of the box, broken up by Hedrick. Over to Castro, and it's be driven back up in the air by Schiffman toward midfield. Perry with a collision in the air with Venter. And Perry called for a foul. Steris tries to quickly put it back in play, but referee will have none of that. We'll start back over. Now they put it down. Here we go. 40th minute, no score. On the far touchline, Emery, the defender, to McBean. Short pass to Mendiola. He'll come toward the box. Back to McBean. Off of him. Thomas will play it over. Lichty will drive it toward midfield.
That's a foul.
Is it not called? Venter pushed into the back of Castro a bit. Now it's played out of bounds by Galaxy 2. Energy FC back home on August 2nd. The Orange County Blues will be in town. The Energy playing Wednesday on the road in Harrisburg. 5:30 Central, the pregame show with Jack Damerel and Mo Borum. 6 o'clock the face-off, or the kickoff. Now it's tipped ahead by Perry. Here comes a Wyatt working on Venter into the penalty area. Wyatt goes down deep, centers it. That actually was knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for the Energy.
And once again, Paul Wyatt done very well running at them. He's gone over to the other side now, and he's quite a pacey lad. Good in the air. And for me, he's been outstanding this half.
Oh, a corner kick here for Energy FC, and Michael Thomas, as usual, will do the honors. Energy FC will be in Harrisburg on Wednesday. They'll be in Dayton, Ohio a week from tonight, both 6 o'clock kickoff Central Time. Corner kick. And it swings toward the edge of the 6-yard box, headed up in the air. Venter or the Energy. I thought Venter might have knocked it out, but it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, obviously Peebo thought that because he went up and was the closest to it, and I thought the centre Venter got it, but and that's why I think they put him on the field, because he's he's what is he, 6'2", and he's a big lad. The other guy that came off was probably 5'11", 5'10", and was losing stuff in the air. This guy's not lost much yet, but he is a big boy.
So Lorendi with the goal kick. Wyatt headed it out of the air. Now several players contest near side. It's out of bounds, and it'll be an Energy FC throw-in the 42nd minute with no score. Douay will throw it down the touchline, chested by Perry, played back by the Galaxy. Driven up and across midfield by a Venter, and then Hedrick and McBean had a collision. Hedrick called for the foul.
And got it.
So the free kick will be way out near the center circle here. Oris and Garcia. Garcia starts it, but an ineffective play. Oh, taken away, though, by Emery. Emery shoots, and he missed the net.
By about 9 foot.
That was a long shot.
I mean, that's what they're doing. Their approach work is good in the middle of the park, but as soon as they get into the last third of the park, they seem to flap, and they're kicking it all over the place. I mean, my goodness.
Well, perhaps the lack of especially a young 18-year-old Bradford Jamison IV, who's a key player for them offensively. He's up with the first team tonight. Of course, Chandler Hoffman was perhaps the best player in the league earlier this year.
Yeah.
They're both unavailable.
Good striker. Good striker. And he makes a heck of a difference when you've got him in there. You know, he's got quality, but, you know, they're a youngish side, the lads that have come tonight from Galaxy.
Bader's goal kick went straight out of bounds. Galaxy 2 puts it back in with a throw-in. Hedrick knocked it across midfield. Back left to right it goes Venter to Mendiola. He gets some speed going. Mendiola lost a shoe, and those bright fluorescent orange shoes easy to see. And foul called against Energy FC.
Okay, that was, Cypriot Hendrick. I don't know if he caught him on the ankle and trod on his boot, but he certainly lost his shoe. As it happens, the lad, when he starts running, he tends to overdo it, but he certainly has got some ability when he runs at people.
44th minute, no score. So they will put the ball straight in the middle of the field, 12 yards or so from the top of the arc. And Energy FC putting about a 5-man wall there just inside the arc. And Garcia, who seems to like to quarterback things there in the midfield, will get it going here. And as usual, big Oris next to him, but Garcia will take this free kick. We'll see if he can get it up over the wall. Now he chips it instead. It'll be a header, and played by Bader on a save as Venter, the defender, came up with a header. Didn't get a lot on it, but had to require a save.
Yeah, nice free kick that. He chipped it over the wall. Guy come in, got a header in with no power, though. That was the problem, no power.
So a line drive kick by Bader across midfield. Castro will run it down here. And Castro had it swiped. Taken away and brought up the near sideline by Dragan Stoikov. He got knocked down, and the play is halted. Throw in by Galaxy 2. It was off McBean's head, played by Murad. Back across into Galaxy territory. Oris sends it down the near side, takes a high bounce, and Rugg can't play it. And a throw in for Energy FC as we get into the 45th minute. We'll see if there's any extra time here. No score. 2 minutes of stoppage time coming up. Couple of players
How did you
down.
know that?
Carter just told me.
How did he know that?
I don't know. There it is. I think Carter has a radio, and he's privy to that inside information that we have to wait for him.
So why didn't we know that on Thursday night how much time there was when the fourth official never put a sheet up?
I don't know. I think it was going around and like non-public circles how much stoppage time there was. but I'm not sure how much it was relayed to the
Yeah.
general
I mean,
public.
I've just seen the referee, the fourth official, put up 2 minutes.
Right.
And Carter's told me it 10 seconds before. So
Right.
they must know up here how much time is.
Yeah, I think they tell somebody down by the table, and they tell the press box so the PA guy can announce it as they throw up. Now we got the ball came out of bounds on the near side, and do we have a?
I don't understand what that was for.
Ball came out of bounds. Garcia's upset. It's going to be energy free kick. Do we have a card coming out?
Yeah, a yellow card's been given to.
The card is going to Dragan Stoikov out of Macedonia. I apologize. I really didn't see what.
Yeah,
he did.
well, I mean, I saw it. He took a throw on and he headed it down, and then he ran over and booked him. I'll have to check what that was for because I do apologise. I don't know what it was for.
Free kick, Thomas. Drove it toward the far corner of the penalty area. It bounced past Hedrick. Perry tried to chip it down. Hedrick will go get it near the end line, and it's off a foot and out of bounds, off of Galaxy 2. Corner kick.
This is normally our Achilles heel. We're not very good at defending for the last minute of each half, so let's keep it down this end.
Michael Thomas on the corner kick. Energy FC trying to scoot into the locker room, breaking the scoreless tie. He drives it in outside the 6. It's headed away by Rugg. Loose ball now played toward the near touchline. It'll go out of bounds, and Lichty will pick it up and throw it in. So we approach the end of this first half. Tonight's game presented by Kickapoo Casino. Throw in down toward the near corner to Castro. It was knocked away from him by Venter or by Starrison out of bounds. So a throw in now near the corner.
Yeah, my
arc.
guess is Michael Thomas will come across, yeah. And they'll take a long one with Castro being the near post and trying to flick it on because he gets it into the 6-yard box. So, but they put 2 players all the way around him. There he goes.
There's the high long throw in. Hedrick was pulled out of contention, tipped away, and now play is halted here at the end of the first half. 0-0 is the score. Coming up at halftime, we'll have some stats for you. Carter Baum from the Energy FC studio will interview John Beilstein from the Prodigal and Energy FC front office. As the half comes to an end, Jimmy Nielsen having a question or so with the, is that the 4th official
Yeah.
that he's talking to?
Yeah, Lance. Yeah.
0-0 score. And Mo, short time here. Just a quick final thought on this first half before we give it over to Carter.
Well, I felt that it was really a non-event from both sides. Both sides were sort of trying to cut out each other, and I think were successful in doing that. I can't really think of other than Michael Thomas's attempt from the halfway line, which was a great attempt. I can't honestly say that the fans would be overexcited about that half. I mean, it was quite dull, really. I think Galaxy had a little bit more of the game than we did, but didn't capitalise on it at all.
So that's Mo Borum. I'm Jim Byers filling in for Jack Damrell. 0-0 to score at the half. Our Kickapoo Casino halftime report is coming your way next here on 96.1 KXY.
Are you in the club? Get rewarded.
Rugg with 6 goals on the season and a very good chance there. Anybody with that sort of a break is going to be dangerous, especially a guy with 6 goals.
Yeah, that was a. It wasn't Charlie Rugg missing. It was Samir Badir saving it. I mean, that was a superb save. Superb save.
No score here. And Energy FC had it momentarily. Wyatt had it knocked away. We apologize to our YouTube viewers. We had something set wrong on our end. We had no audio there for the first few minutes of the second half. We're in the 51st minute. No score. As down the far touchline, Oris trying to spin it toward the middle. Taken away by a sliding Thomas. Back to Venter. Now over to Garcia. Over to Mendiola. Back to Garcia. Garcia will send it across here to Emery, and he'll take it toward the middle. Emery's pass to Oris, well outside the penalty area. Back over far side for Stoichkov. Out high to Garcia. He drove it into the box and wide of the goal.
Yeah, they haven't really hit any shot yet on what I call on target. That's in the 8-foot frame by 8-yard frame of the goalpost crossbar. Everything's going 3 or 4 foot left, right, or over the top.
So Bader with a goal kick. Speakeasy is proud to be a pregame pub partner of OKC Energy FC. Speakeasy is the perfect spot for a night out with friends or any private event or occasion. Come join us on Northwest 51st Street between Classen and Western for pre- or post-game eats and drinks. 51st Street Speakeasy. Ball goes over the far touchline and out of bounds. It'll be an Energy FC throw-in.
Yeah, Peebo did got to the ball, hit it for a through ball, and it bounced off the guy's knee and went off for a throw-in over on the far side.
If you're just joining us, Galaxy 2 beat the Energy twice earlier in the season, most recently 5-0 on May 25th. Much different Energy side since then, 4-0-4 in their last 8 games, an 8-game unbeaten streak. Energy right now, at least, in postseason positioning, tied for 7th with Wilmington. And you were noting, Mo, that there was a Wilmington score they drew last night.
Yeah, Wilmington played Harrisburg, who we're playing on Wednesday night, drew 0-0, and just as well, really, because Harrisburg are one below us in the league. They're 2 points less than us, but if they'd have got a win, they'd have been level with us. So it was a good result for us from that point of view.
On Wednesday, Energy FC with Jack and Mo on the call in Harrisburg, PA. Ball on the near touchline, played by Lichty with a 0-0 score over the near touchline and out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Galaxy. Jimmy Nielsen appeared upset with his own team. Is that, do you think, Mo? There?
Yeah, I think he's thinking that you know, we're not getting it together. We're competing with them, but we're not really stringing any passes together. Now that may be that because, you know, the new team, the new formation, we're playing 4-4-2 instead of 4-2-3-1, so to speak. And yeah, I think Jimmy's a little bit frustrated that we're not doing better than you know, we're 0-0, but when you're at home, you should be really taking the game to the other team. And to be fair, Galaxy have done all the pressing.
Garcia with a free kick. It bangs off of Castro. It'll be gathered back in by Galaxy 2. Oris sends it toward the edge of the box. Headed out of there and off of Stephen Perry. And now he's able to dislodge it, and here come the Energy. There's a long ball by Lichty over toward the far side. Racing after it is Thomas, but Stoichkov gets there first. Thomas pressuring. And outside the box, Stoichkov to Franco. His pass intercepted. Wyatt plays it to Castro. And it turns and passes it to Lichty. Shoots! Knocked down. Good save there by Mendiola, falling down to his right to punch it out of there with his hands.
Yeah, that was a good shot by David Lichty, yeah. Michael Thomas done well again on the left-hand side and got it in across in.
Garcia brings it toward the penalty area. Over to the corner here and offside.
Yeah, he's gave offside. I didn't think he was. I thought he was 2 or 3 yards onside. But the linesman's dead in line with it, so we're at an angle, so it probably looks a little bit less. But I didn't think it was offside, but obviously was.
Got a yellow card issued there. Lichty picked up a yellow card.
For what?
Any idea for what? We're not sure.
He's given 3
Maybe
cards.
Choice comments toward the
yeah,
referee,
could be.
perhaps.
Could be, yeah. He's given In fact, Jimmy's asking him why.
56 minutes in, no score. Nielsen getting an explanation here from the referee Kyle Phillips.
I mean, you've got to be fair. I think if the referee, if the coach asks the referee to explain why he's give it, I think the referee's entitled to say why he's give it. And Jimmy's said, okay, fine, okay, don't agree with you, but that's good. Thank you very much.
Out of all of that, Bader on the free kick drove it across midfield. Eventually, Raul Mendiola took it away, knocked away by Thomas. And here comes Castro, tried to play the ball back to Thomas, was broken up. And out to center toward midfield comes Galaxy 2. Mendiola slides it over to Stoikov. Stoikov sends it over toward the far side. Joe Franco with it. Franco to Garcia. Back over it goes to Franco. And Galaxy 2 is patient here in a 0-0 contest. We're in the 56th, almost the 57th minute. Emery comes down the field here, left-footed, drives it in toward the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Hedrick. And Thomas will lift it up out of danger.
It looks like now we're going to put a substitute on. Looks like Carl Gregg's going on. My guess is that AVR Castro will come off. He was the front player, and that's where Carl plays. So I'm thinking that they'll just do a change for change, 1 for 1.
The ball goes out of bounds on the far side. Galaxy 2, 9-5-4 on the year, 4th in USL Pro, 4 points up on Rochester when play began today, 2 behind Sacramento. So Kyle Gregg is coming in, and he will be replacing Castro, as Mo mentioned. Our first Energy FC sub of the game. There was 1 sub for Galaxy 2 back in the first half.
This will just give us fresh legs. AVR has done very well for the first start he's had. Worked very hard, and Carl will probably give us a little bit more of a different way of playing. He's a great target player, so he'll play a little bit further up, and Stephen will play just behind him, I'm thinking.
Co-leader on Energy FC in goals with 4, along with Michael Thomas, is Kyle Gregg, and the ball finds him right after he gets in there. Heads it over, and will be driven up the far touchline and out of bounds.
So it's a throw on to Galaxy, just around about the halfway, just over the halfway line.
And Joe Franco out of Cal State Northridge will go back to throw it in out there in the San Fernando Valley. A rather large California influence on this Galaxy 2 side. We're 0-0 here. Rugg, who had a great chance earlier in this half, denied by Bader out near the edge of the box. Was taken away by Due and tipped out of bounds off of LA. So a throw in for Peebo Due on the far side. Thanks for joining us tonight from Pribble Stadium. The light's on, the sun is down, only the last bit of light off the far side stands as the ball goes out of bounds and foul called against the Energy.
Yeah, he's given a high kick in from Carl.
So a free kick in Galaxy's half of the field. Steris drives it across the midfield line. McBean plays it down, and here comes Stoikov, sends it toward the top of the arc. Knocked down by Rugg to McBean. Tried to go from his left foot to his right. Denied by Hedrick. Driven up by Lichty. Way now down deep for Perry. Couldn't quite get there. And Venter for Galaxy clears it away.
Yeah, good ball there by David Lichty. The defender just got his toe to it.
Franco battling with Thomas out at midfield. Due took it away. Back to the Galaxy. And it'll be played across midfield. Too far for Franco. Murad comes to pick it up. Franco right behind Murad, plays it back to his keeper. Bader will have to play it without touching it, and he drives it over the near touchline and kept in by Lichty. Nice play there. It bounded by Perry, but Gregg had a chance. Venter knocked it away. And it'll be played back across midfield by Galaxy 2. Mendiola, short pass to McBean. And now Oris will knock it away from a falling down Schiffman. And Max Gunderson, who's gone all the way tonight. Energy FC without some key players. Gareth Evans not dressed, but Kyle Miller not playing. Mark Howard not in the lineup. Ada Jaziri has not played, as it's battled for on the far touchline. Wyatt with a nice play lifted it up out of the air, and then he and Stoikov got all locked up, and Stoikov grabbed a hold of him for a foul.
Yeah, to be fair, the lads have done very, very well with the new lineup. I mean, we're competing with them. When you consider that we lost 5-0 to them last time, it's promising.
60th minute, no score, driven by Hedrick.
Ooh. All
the way up ice, headed by Lorendi. He was out of the box. Now it's popped high in the air by Galaxy 2 and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was I'm going to kick it anywhere. That's not That was no constructive thought behind that ball. It was went almost over the top of the stands.
Travis Bowen is coming in for Galaxy 2, replacing Jack McBean. So they lose one of their better offensive players, but Mo, we gain the most identifiable player we've seen all year with a big white or blonde stripe on his hair, Travis Bowen.
I think he's borrowed that off Davy Crockett.
Here's a shot deflected up in the air off of Kyle Gregg, and now it'll be lifted by Gunderson way up in the air and out of bounds over
Max
the end
was being a little bit ambitious there. He's tried a shot from like 40 yards and it sailed over the top. So it's a goal kick now to Galaxy again.
So Lorendi, the 25-year-old goalkeeper, with the goal kick here in the 61st minute. High comes across midfield.
Great header.
Headed left to right by Thomas. But run down by Venter and lifted across midfield. Chested down by Cyprian Hedrick. Mendiola went to get it. It rolled off an energy player. And here's the newcomer into the game out of Van Nuys, California, Travis Bowen. That's another San Fernando Valley city. Mo, about half this side appears to be from Southern California.
Yeah, they all seem to be California boys.
Emery with the throw in. Charlie Rugg out of Boston. I don't know how many key elite players do you see out of Boston? You get many players out of? Yeah, I didn't.
Very
think so.
few, but it is very Irish orientated. So Charlie Rugg, with a name like that, he's got to be part Irish.
Logan Emery drives it across midfield. Play is onside. It'll go toward the edge of the box. Headed by Dewey back to the keeper, Samir Bader for the Energy. Now played by Schiffman up to the midfield line.
Oh, he's done well there.
There's a long ball by Schiffman. On the run, and it'll be
Lorendi
goes way up and
that's
over Stephen Perry.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a red card.
Red card to the goalkeeper?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be a red card. He's come out like he's 6 foot high with his feet going straight at him. Definite red card.
So a near horrifying collision just outside the box. Lorendi, who has played 16 games now, counting this one, and has not missed a minute all year, is going to be out. And the new goalkeeper, Nicholas Shackelford, is going to come in. As Stephen Perry wound up going underneath as the goalkeeper went up over top of him. So a brief water break for Energy FC. Lorendi goes over to tap Perry on the shoulder. And how often do you see this, Mo?
Well, and now they've got to bring someone else off if they've got a reserve keeper, and it doesn't look like they have.
Well, there's a guy with Shackelford wearing a Shackelford warm-up down there who is listed as their reserve
is he?
goalkeeper.
Oh, okay, that's exactly what they'll do then. They'll pull off another player.
So how come play is underway and Lorendi is still in there? Do they give the goalkeeper time to warm up?
Oh, he's not sent him off.
No.
Oh.
I thought he pulled the red card.
So did I.
Shackelford is warming up.
I don't understand that.
Well, the ball's kicked out of bounds. Is there a 5-minute grace period?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did they
7,
take
8,
another
9.
player off?
No, they've got 11 players.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've got 11 players, and the keeper's still on, and the other keeper's warming up. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm sure he had a red card. He certainly
looked like it. Yeah, the live stats function at energyfc.com does say red card on Cody Lorendi, but he's still in the game. 0-0 to score. He drives it all the way up, off the head of Murad, into the OKC penalty area, where Bader will lift it high across midfield. Now will be taken away by Garcia as he was. Now he drives it all the way up field toward Mendiola and Murad. Nice play by Murad to play it back over his head. And then one out of the air by Schiffman. A good play there. Over it goes, and Paul Wyatt will bring it across midfield. Wyatt double team finally went down. Kyle Gregg able to steal it. Gregg in the center circle to Thomas. So good sequence of plays there. Mo back over here to Gunderson on the near touchline. And now it'll be played by a Schiffman out near midfield to Thomas. Good ball movement here. They give it back over on the near side, and it goes out of bounds off of Galaxy 2.
I'm still flummoxed. I can't understand why. Did he show a red card?
Yep. Okay, so we're getting word that they called an offside before the red card. So I guess anything that happens after that will be null and void.
Yeah, the game's dead.
Right.
But that really is. Phew.
Well, that was interesting. Very
Yeah.
spectacular, dramatic-looking play with the near collision there between Perry and Lorendi. 66 minute, 0-0, 0-0 the score. You never know what you're going to see here, Mo.
Oh, you don't. It's full of excitement.
Had one game end in near fisticuffs.
Yep.
We've had games end in dramatic fashion late, both home and away. Oris with it. Over to Garcia in the center circle, Rafael Garcia. Gives it this way. Lichty couldn't control it. Now he will. And we'll give it over here to Gunderson. Back to Hedrick at the edge of the box. He was handcuffed, if you will, but popped it high up in the air. Good header there by Greg. The ball goes out of bounds near side. Throw in for the Energy. Lichty quickly throw it in. Perry gets around one defender, knocked down just inside or at the edge of the box.
That's a penalty.
Emery knocked him down.
He's saying it's outside. That was outrageous. That was inside the box. That's definitely inside the box.
We're going to have a yellow card, though, given to Emery. Emery with a yellow card.
I'll tell you what, this is ridiculous. I mean, that was... Stephen Phillips was 2 yards.
Perry, yeah, he certainly wound up inside the box at the end.
Yeah.
They're going to put the ball right at the edge of the 18-yard box.
That's what we call a bottle job. Like the referee, he's bottled it. He's got no gumption there. He was frightened to give the penalty, so I'm sorry. If I was with Jack now, we'd be arguing.
67th minute, 0-0 score. Jack Damrell, a normal voice of the Energy, out of town on other business. So here's a free kick right at the edge of the box.
You can see Jimmy's not very pleased with that. And he was nearer than we were. And everybody in the stand, I mean, I know that you're always a little bit biased, but...
Thomas lifts it, curls at far side of the 6-yard box. It'll go all the way over. Lichty way in the far corner with it. Energy maintain possession of Dewey, shoots it near the net and wide. It'll come, though, near corner, kept in by Thomas. Pressure for the Energy here. Out high, Schiffman shanked a shot, taken away by Oris. And here comes Galaxy 2, dressed in white. Oris racing across midfield, trying to give it laterally, broken up by Murad. Played back by Franco. Here comes Franco. Jim Byers, Mo Borum with you here in Oklahoma City. 0-0 to score. Mendiola comes toward the middle. Mendiola been a bit quiet so far today, of course, in a 0-0 game. That can happen.
It's never a dull day here, though, because if it gets dull, the referee livens it up.
Here comes Garcia, advancing toward the penalty area. Now to Emery. Back over for Bowen. Striped hair and all. Back it goes to Oris. Oris shoots long range, and that'll go up over into the grid section to our left.
That's twice that Stephen Perry has beaten the defender for pace, and twice the defender has brought him down. I mean, how many times do you have to do it? I don't know if it was the same defender, though, to be fair, Jim.
But no penalty kicks awarded so far tonight. Journey House is a proud partner of OKC Energy FC in the 405 area. Call 463-5800 for all your travel needs. Goal kick, Energy FC, left to right, Bader. Drives it across midfield. Not much wind here. The hot, windy days of earlier in the season in this homestand momentarily gone. Played by Hedrick across midfield. Back to Hedrick, a header. It'll roll to Lichty. He'll flick one over offside as the ball got to Greg.
That was tight.
So Galaxy 2 starts play up. Steris over to Franco, now to Oris. Back to Steris, the defender. Long ball headed down by Dewey, and then good play by Hedrick.
Yeah,
he jumped in front of Rugg.
Yeah, did very well there, Hedrick.
Goes out of bounds, but a throw in for Galaxy 2. And Mendiola will work it toward the middle here. Raul Mendiola, and rolled away from him. Lichty played it over, now it'll be
well played, David.
Knocked back over here to Lichty. Through the center circle he comes. Lichty with Gunderson tearing down the right wing side. Instead plays a shorter ball. Perry in deep shoots, and a big save by Lorendi. Corner kick coming up for the Energy.
And they're screaming at him for offside. They're screaming at the linesman. Galaxy are screaming at the linesman for offside. There was no way he was offside. He was run past the lad. Oh.
70th minute, 0-0 is the score, and a corner kick coming up. It'll be from the near corner in the end zone to our right.
This is always my great fear, Jim, that we're getting on top and we're getting on top and we're getting on top. We just mustn't relax too much and let them break away and score, which is sometimes what we do. We get a little bit carried away.
About 20 minutes roughly left here in this one.
Yeah.
So
he's having a little chat with a few of the Galaxy lads.
Stephen Perry of the Energy is right in there, jostling right in front of Cody Lorendi, the goalkeeper, as Thomas set to
Which is
play this corner
he's
kick.
entitled to do that. As long as he doesn't push him or touch him, he's entitled to stand in front of him.
So here we go on the corner kick. Thomas approaches, drives it into the 6, headed away, and going down in a heat was Steris trying to get a stoppage of play. Now it comes out of bounds over the near touchline. And Steris is... Stoikov, rather. I'm sorry, Stoikov, not Steris. Stoikov is going to require athletic trainer's attention here. He's wobbly, but he's walking.
But now he's come on. Officially, he should come off. Now let's see if he.
Involved in a collision there, right in the 6-yard box. 72nd minute, 0-0 to score. Bob Bartley Electric is a proud partner of Energy FC. Visit them at bartleyelectricinc.com for more information. Did they make him come off?
If the trainer comes on, the ruling is that he has to come off. He's come off. As soon as the game gets started, he'll signal to the fourth official who'll send him back in, or the lines person, the thing.
So Energy with it. Here's a ball by Schiffman up in the air. Lorendi goes up in the air just in front of Hedrick and caught it. Lorendi's been good in the air. I don't know if that's the right term for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, great in the air. Yeah, superb. He's been very definite.
And now it went back to Bader, and he throws one over to Douay on the far touchline. Down he goes. Good header by Gregg, sent it toward the middle. Played away by Venter with his head. Back to Wyatt on the far touchline. His pass will be intercepted. Slid by Mendiola to Rafael Garcia, right at midfield. Rafael gets it back. And now they'll take their time. Garcia, near side to Bowen. Bowen off the near touchline with it. Long ball goes back the wrong way across the midfield stripe. But now Steris to Venter. Venter will play it across the way, and Franco just did keep it in. Midfield on the far side. And Andre Oras will play it over. And now it'll be taken by Emery over to Mendiola. Not a whole lot of forward thrust going right now. Oras.
They're quite content to just get it, and because we've had 15 minutes of the play, they just want to get possession now and keep it, not give it away. They're going to keep playing it across the park. He'll play it back over here now to the other centre half. He'll play it out to the fullback, and they'll just keep it. We just mustn't lose our patience. We just got to wait until they make a mistake.
Garcia with a left-footed pass, knocked down by Bowen. Now Hedrick took it away from Mendiola. Back to Hedrick. Cyprian to the near side. Plays a low ball, stolen there. Oras able to take it away from Kyle Gregg. Now Venter, well, he'll play it back to his keeper, who's outside the box. Looked for a moment like Lorendi was sent off earlier, but an offside was called prior to the foul. It was committed by Lorendi against Perry. 74th minute, 0-0 to score. Oras. There's a long ball for the far side, and here comes Stoikov. He eluded Douay. Stoikov races to the edge of the box. Stoikov crosses for Mendiola, 18 yards away, shoots, and he scores. Mendiola able to put it in, made a move, one step toward the middle, a low shot, eluded Bader, and it's 1-0 Galaxy.
Yeah, that's a disappointment, really, there. That's what I was saying. I was saying to you that we've had all of this off, and that's the problem. We tend to just relax at vital moments inside the goal area, and we pay the price. And at this level, you can't do that. We've been so much on top for the last 20 minutes. You'd have thought it was the siege of the Mafeking. Instead of that, we're 1-0 down, and now we've got it all to do, and we've got like 15 minutes to do it, and we seem to have a track record of that.
Mendiola tied for third with a bunch of players in the league in assists with 5, but he gets his first goal of the campaign. Raul Mendiola opens the scoring here in the 75th minute. And play underway, and Energy FC, Schiffman sends it across midfield. Headed upfield by Steris. And now it'll trickle. Bowen ran past it. And Peebo Due will take it away. Plays it far sideline to Wyatt. His pass taken away by Oris. So they played all that possession game for a while.
Yeah, it was just killing the game, and then suddenly wham.
So now it's driven all the way upfield by Emery. Bowen went down. Due able to take it away, and they're shoulder to shoulder, and a foul called against Bowen. So Energy FC, which found itself behind actually in stoppage time on Thursday here and wound up drawing 1-1 with Arizona United, down 1-0 here in the 76th minute. So still plenty of time to get that equalizer.
Yeah, we just got to be patient again and not do things silly.
235 kick, the number for ticket information. Energy FC back home on August 2nd. This Galaxy 2 team will be back here on the 16th. Bader with the free kick is the only player in his half of the field. Drives it up toward and into the box. Lorendi will knock it down and not play it with his hands. And now he will, as pursuing him.
Yeah, they're going to put on 2 extra subs now. They're putting on Danny Delgado and Albert Villion. I would imagine Stephen Perry and David Lichty will come off.
Inject a little style with those 2 players. Ball in the Energy FC half. They drove it across midfield. Venter headed it down. He was an early substitution for Coach Analfo. Now it's picked up by Mendiola. Gives it for Bowen. A long run, pass too far, and it goes out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in for Energy FC. Energy FC has not lost since the 25th of May. As now we got these substitutions. Vian comes in, Stephen Perry goes out, and Lichty departs, and Danny Delgado comes in. So now it's thrown in, and Galaxy 2 with it. They're up 1-0. Bowen trying to play it. It was knocked away initially by Howard. Now Paul Wyatt takes it away fully. Over to Howard. He drives it toward the midfield stripe. Nice ball in the air by Gregg. He headed it toward Delgado, taken away, and Oris will drive it over the near sideline and out of play. We'll have an interview, Carter Baum, live on the field with our man of the match coming up following the game, but still just in the 78th minute out of 90 plus here tonight. It's driven by Tarek Murad across midfield, headed out of bounds on the near side. This is the second of 3 games in a 7-day span for Energy FC, so some Energy players sitting to get some rest. They'll be in Harrisburg Wednesday as a foul called against the Galaxy just across midfield. Free kick for the Energy. Long way away from Cody Lorendi's goal. We're taking suggestions on our man of the match up here. Kind of sitting on the fence right now with a 1-0 Galaxy 2 lead. But we kind of like Tarek Murad, and was it Paul Wyatt was your other selection? He was very present in that first half.
Very well.
There's a long ball, goes straight over several players' heads, including Kyle Gregg, and out of bounds, and the Galaxy will have a goal kick. McNelly's is a proud partner of Energy FC. Come check McNelly's out at 1100 Classen in Midtown in Oklahoma City. Beautiful night here in Oklahoma City. Energy FC has not lost since the 25th of May against this Galaxy 2 club in LA. 4-0-4 since. Long ball headed up in the air by Bowen, now headed by Rugg, played out of the air by Due. And Galaxy, or the Energy FC will play it. Schiffman with a long ball, too far for Gregg, now to Abraham Vian. Here comes Vian up the middle of the field toward the penalty area. Pass over to Wyatt at the edge of the box. Now to Thomas, over to Vian. Back to Thomas. He plays it out high, and Schiffman will play it along the ground. Picked up by Delgado. Left-footed pass, Schiffman. Plays it back this way. Thomas toward the corner, near the goal line. Centers it. And it'll roll past everybody. Boy, Dan Delgado had a good chance. Just slipped by him, and Bowen with it.
That was a great chance there. Good ball by Michael Thomas, and I think Dan had just run in a little bit too early.
Now Vian intercepts a pass, far touchline. And a whistle stops play. And what have we got here? A foul against Galaxy 2. So a free kick or, I guess, a corner kick coming up.
Gone over for a corner, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't see the linesman, but then we're a little bit.
Yeah, we have a bit of a view obstruction on that.
There's a big pillar there.
So, so over on the far corner, Michael Thomas with a corner kick. Jam up, Deluxe in front. Into the 6 it goes. Headed by Murad up over the goal and out of play. 81st minute, 1-0 to score. Galaxy with a goal by Raul Mendiola. The 74th minute or 75th minute. Goal kick coming up here for Lorendi, who almost failed to see the end of a game for the first time this year. 16 starts, gone all the way. Drives it across midfield, and Wyatt heads it over the near touchline. Now we've got Ada Jaziri coming in, and he will take the place of Max Gunderson, who has played a nice game in back there.
Yeah, he's been always gives you 100%, Max. Never outstanding, never stars in anything, but does everything simple and does it well. Made a few great runs down the line, but he's playing now 3 at the back and putting an extra attacker up.
Emery's throwing, headed down by Hedrick, taken back by Schiffman. Long ball toward midfield. Greg with a nice back header, if you will, to Jaziri. 1-0 Galaxy. Jaziri down the near touchline. Nice ball for wide and deep. Crosses it in deep. It'll go all the way over, and Vion will have to run it down far side. He kept it in. Good play by Abraham Vion, the San Diego State product. Vion gives it back. Due, a long shot. Couldn't do much from where he was, and he sent it over the end line.
Little disappointing that, because that he wasn't under that much pressure, Peebo. You'd have thought his delivery would have been a little bit better than that, but unfortunately it wasn't. It sailed over the top of everybody and ran out for a goal kick. Now they're going to just, like Arizona on Thursday night, they're just going to kill time. They've got 10 minutes to go, not 8 minutes to go. They're not going to rush anything.
Mendiola meticulously setting up this goal kick. And here we go. He's a left footer. He drives it high and across midfield. Up in the air, Bowen able to head it away from the first Energy player, Murad, and then Thomas. And out of that all, Bowen is called with a foul. So here come the Energy. Schiffman to the center circle. Far side, Delgado. He works his way, threads his way upfield. Over to Kyle Gregg. His pass, he'll spin back to him. Vion, far sideline. Gets it back from Schiffman. Now Energy patient here, down 1-0. Due will go back across the midfield stripe to Murad. Back over here to an open Cyprian Hedrick. He plays one toward the middle, headed out of there by Venter, and then played up in the air into traffic and cleared. Pretty good clear there by Franco. Ahead to Bowen. He tries to split the defense, and it's knocked away. A slide tackle by Due. And now over toward the near side, Bader chases the ball out of bounds. And it'll be a free kick for the Galaxy, or a throw-in, rather.
To Galaxy, yeah, throw-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throw-in near sideline or near touchline. Bader had to come over and kind of cover up a little bit here with
and killed a bit of time.
Yeah.
He did. The referee was very lenient with him there. Just waved and said, "Hey, don't do it again."
Mendiola with the throw in near side to Bowen. He's well marked by Hedrick, and now Wyatt joins in. Bowen near corner, and now it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in for Galaxy 2. Since beating the Energy in late May, they're 3-3-1. Oklahoma City is 4-0-4 since then. Right in the corner now. Hedrick jostling with Bowen. Pried loose by Wyatt. Played back by Galaxy 2. Orris, edge of the box. Comes near the end line. Orris near the corner arc. Right there, now it goes off of Galaxy and out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Samir Bader.
Yeah, and what they're trying to do now, I mean, I think they're starting a little bit earlier. There's 7 or 8 minutes to go as yet, and they're trying to get it into the corner and kill time. You normally do that when there's 3 or 4 minutes to go. I think sort of 8 or 9 minutes, they're pushing up a Christmas tree, really.
With Mo Borum, I'm Jim Byers. Jack Damrell is out of town this week as the ball goes out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for Energy FC. The local side trails this one 1-0 on a goal here in the second half by Raul Mendiola. Hedrick plays it across midfield to Michael Thomas. He'll play it out of bounds, throw in for the Galaxy. 86th minute now. And newly into the game out of Jaziri will pick it up and hand it to Emery, who'll throw it in. Rugg was being occupied by Hedrick, so possession will go back to Energy FC. And back to the keeper, Samir Bader. Bader will line it up, blast it across midfield. Delgado with a header. Headed back out of there by Steris. And now it'll be taken by Schiffman, but his header went astray. Now it'll be directed back to the goalkeeper. And Bader will drive it back high in the air across midfield again. And this time Emery with a good header toward midfield. 86th minute, 1-0 LA. Hedrick will pop it up. Gregg makes a run at it. Taken away by Venter with his left foot, and he drives it high in the air. Community Care is a proud partner and supporter of Energy FC. Visit www.ccok.com for more information about your healthcare needs. Murad plays it across midfield. Emery goes up in the air with Thomas. They collide. The ball goes out of bounds, and...
See, I don't understand that at all. I mean, two players go up for a challenge. I didn't see a foul on either side.
We're going to call for the trainer here for Logan Emery.
Yeah. But both players, a 50-50 ball. It's in the air, and he's given a foul to us, and I don't quite follow that.
I wasn't sure if there was going to be a foul against the Energy. The Energy looked like they're lining up for a free kick.
It's a free kick to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, free kick to us, but and now the guy's got to go off. I don't know. This is a chance for us. We've got to try and get one back here.
Jaziri with the left-footed free kick. Drives it into the arc area. Headed away by Bowen. Played back down by Murad. His pass will be intercepted. Driven by Franco up across midfield and over the touchline on the far side. Energy will try to keep that ball in the attacking half. Schiffman plays it into the edge of the box. Headed away by Venter, played by Vian. Played it down toward the end line. Douay, cross, headed away by Garcia. Nice clearance there. And now Mendiola will run it down near touchline. Out of Jaziri got there and tipped it out of bounds. So a throw in for the Galaxy. 88th minute. Boy, the Galaxy in no hurry to throw this one in as Logan Emery does a few drills there, kicking the ball to himself. Now he throws it in, and it'll come back to Wyatt, poked away by Bowen and out of bounds. Hedrick will throw it in. Gets a few steps across midfield, throws it in for Jaziri, heads it up in the air. Now it's headed by Gregg, but cleared by Andre Aras.
Yeah, they're just gonna kick it anywhere and everywhere now.
8-game unbeaten streak on the line, 89th minute. Long ball played by Bader. It goes to the edge of the box. Headed up in the air by Venter. Lorendi up into the air to get it. He's made a couple of nice saves tonight for Galaxy 2 as he bids to up his record to 9-4-3 on the year. 89th minute. We'll see how much stoppage time is added. 1-0 Galaxy. Lorendi punts it across midfield. Comes about 30 yards from the Energy's goal. Played by Hedrick over to Dan Delgado, who's fresh after coming in here fairly late in the second half. Delgado to Wyatt, near touchline. He drove it off the chest of Thomas, gathered back in by Kyle Venter, and he'll just drive it upfield. 5 minutes of stoppage time coming up, Mo, so still about 6 minutes of play left.
Wow.
Bader drives it across the midfield stripe. One in the air initially there by Venter. It comes over to Mendiola, who has the goal. Now to Rafael Garcia, knocked down by Gregg. Gave him a pretty good run for his money there.
Yeah, definite foul.
Well, Jimmy Nielsen was saying that these Galaxy 2 players, a lot of them are quite talented. They have a good side, but they maybe don't like to play it too rough. Do you think the Energy have been able to play them physical enough?
No, I think Galaxy has been as physical, if not more physical, than we have. now they're, this is what grates me is that, they're 1-0 up, they've got 5 minutes to go, and they're rolling around as though they've been just hit with a sledgehammer. And then 2 minutes later, they're running up and roaring around like a lion. So it just annoys me that you get players booked for doing that, and you don't need that in the game.
Hedrick with a foul. Bowen was down for a moment. Now Garcia will, with the free kick here, he'll just tap it over to Bowen. Bowen near touchline, near the corner. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be throw in for Energy FC. Hedrick, Bader wanted the ball momentarily. Now Hedrick will throw it toward midfield. Jaziri will head it. Nice header ahead to Greg. He got
a foul.
Knocked down by Oris, no call.
It was a big push.
And
I can't believe that.
Hedrick will drive it into the bench area. So we are into stoppage time now. Final 4 minutes or so, 4+ minutes, 1-0 Galaxy. It's thrown in by Emery. It goes out of bounds.
Corner. Came off of a Cypriot, Hedrick said.
So a corner kick. The near corner. This will be just the second Galaxy corner kick of the contest.
They're in no rush to take this.
Energy FC wrapping up a 6-game homestand. They have 3 wins and 2 draws so far on the stand. So Bowen and Mendiola in the area. Mendiola tapped it to Bowen, who does some fancy footwork. Now he's surrounded, almost escaped it. The ball does roll over the touchline. It'll be a throw in for Galaxy 2. In stoppage time here, 1-0 LA. Carter Baum is on the field. We will have his post-game interview coming up momentarily with our man of the match. And now the ball goes out of bounds off of the Galaxy, and it'll be a throw in for Energy FC. And this time they do give it back to the keeper. And Bader will drive it toward midfield, played down by Garcia, taken by Bowen. He escaped Hedrick. Here comes Bowen into the box. And it slid off his foot and wide of the goal.
Yeah, very lucky there. He totally miskicked it.
Now Bader will drive it to the center circle. Played out of the air by Stoikov. Gathered in by Rugg to Mendiola, the goal scorer. He plays it laterally here in stoppage time. And a nice ball, a nice play over there by Murad to take it.
Yeah, did very well there.
Up to Viana across midfield. He'll bounce it toward Delgado. He got it ahead to Thomas. Thomas, though, far from the goal here. Just outside the center circle. His pass stolen by Mendiola. Over to Charlie Rugg at midfield. Rugg knocked down from behind by Thomas. Foul call against him. Closing seconds, we're going to have a sub, though, for the Galaxy as Elijah Martin is going to enter the game for Raul Mendiola. And now we have a Charlie Rugg cramp situation going on out there as well.
This is where all the players that continually do this. Arizona was very prevalent in it on Thursday night. Now they're winning, and I can understand it. We'd probably be doing exactly the same, but it does annoy you when you're sitting there watching a game and then the lad jumps up after having cramp and what have you and runs like a greyhound.
Final moments of action here. 1-0 Galaxy, a free kick. Garcia in the center circle, drives it toward Bowen over his head and out of bounds. Quick throw in here for Hedrick in the Energy. Over it goes to Murad at the edge of the box. Now they work it toward midfield. Douay with a long left-footed ball toward the middle. Venter there, he heads it. And it'll be played by Garcia, and it'll be driven upfield and out of bounds. And a throw in coming up for Hedrick. Has to back up a bit, throws it in. Bader is well out of his penalty area here. Bader is now halfway between midfield and the box. Drives it high toward the edge of the box and headed out of there. Venter was a key early game substitution for Analfo here. And throw in for the Energy. It'll be rolled by Jaziri, cleared by Venter. Bader up near midfield. Soccer's version of pulling the goalie in hockey. Bader drives it all the way up. It'll go into the penalty area. Lorendi comes out to play it out of the air with Greg right there.
Did very well there, the keeper. Was definitely going for it, 100%. If he'd have missed it, he was in trouble, but he didn't. He did very well.
When he's gone in the air, he's been sure-handed in this match. He drives it high on a punt across midfield. 1-0 Galaxy, closing seconds, you have to believe. And it comes down into the box for the Energy. Lifted by Bader over to Douay. His pass will come to the newcomer into the game, Elijah Martin. Now over to Oris, and that's it. Galaxy 2 improves to a 3-0 record against the Energy this year. They'll have one more match remaining on August 16th. First loss since May 25th against the Galaxy for Energy FC. And Paul Wyatt is our man of the match, and Carter Baum will be approaching him down on the field, and he has wireless in hand. Final score 1-0. Galaxy 2 defeats the Energy FC as they have the handshakes, and we will go downstairs here momentarily as Carter will chase down Paul Wyatt, who is saluting the fans at the end. So we will ask Carter if he can hear us to hold that transmitter up in the air pretty good, since sometimes we have a little bit of interference. Well, Mo, it was a tremendous homestand from my view. 3-1-2 are the Energy in this 6-game stretch. They put themselves back in playoff contention. But even with both sides lacking some key players tonight, just not quite enough for Energy FC.
Yeah, I think we was a little bit unlucky. I thought we had near enough most of the second half. But as I said to you before, Jim, you know, you get into a sort of a lack of concentration when you've got that much of the game. So it looks like he's got Jimmy there.
So we're going to go to Jimmy Nielsen. Let's go downstairs to Carter Baum with head coach Jimmy Nielsen.
Thanks, Jim. And first off, Jimmy, obviously a little bit of a heartbreaker tonight. You guys looked to control most of that second half. LA got one good chance there and got the lone goal of the match.
Yeah, you know, that's the difference with the teams in the top of the table, and all the best. And the teams in the middle of the table, you know, they're a tiny bit sharper on their chances. We had our chances to finish it off today. We've got to be pleased with the effort the guys put in there. But got to admit, there were